When is it acceptable to change your name, Anthony?
When you get married.
When you get married? Okay.
Yeah.
You have a great name for your business, the Oakwood Pizza Box, right?
Solid.
Yeah. No, it's legit. It's good.
Okay, thank you.
So you would never change the name of your business unless you were like failing miserably, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Then you try to maybe jumpstart this thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
The
Change
Washington Redskins, the name was offensive to some, so it was changed. And it's after an iteration with no name, it's now the Washington Commanders. I ask you this because Joe Ovius on his trip to Detroit ended up making some bets on my DraftKings account, and we did really well, believe it or not.
Okay.
So I said to him, "Oh, we could be the OG Media Gambling Syndicate."
Okay. That sounds good. I like Syndicate.
I kind of like it too, and I'm considering changing the name of this podcast to perhaps the OG Gambling Syndicate.
Or would it be the OGG Gambling? Given the last name of another.
Stand-in. You would like to be included, is what you're saying.
Perhaps. Just a suggestion.
Okay. I'm spitballing. Like yeah. I'm genuinely trying to figure out ways to get us going a little bit.
I feel like I might be able to make inroads into the Chapel Hill market and inside of that organization over there. Maybe bridge the gap. NC Central, of course.
The GIGLIO Guerra. See, I don't get to be first in anything, so
I don't mind being last. I'll close it.
Okay. All right, we'll keep workshopping that. Here's what I do know. If you follow Anthony's prop bet picks of the week, you would be 7-2 on the year. That is a preposterous return. And thanks to Tommy DeVito, poor Tommy DeVito, throwing an interception last week, you improved to 7-2 on your prop bets on the season. I promised you I would show you the world's greatest tweet from the Giants' miserable experience at Dallas last week. As we've talked previously about Tommy DeVito, he is from Don Bosco. He is from Jersey. As Luke DeCock and Aaron Beard and I have come up with an entire song to "Living on a Prayer." Poor Tommy could use a few blocks. Working for the man every night and day. All right, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna show it to you, and I'm gonna prepare you to just be amused if you're watching on the YouTubes. It says, if New Jersey had a Mount Rushmore, it is the DeVito family. From left to right, I'm going to go with Dad with the glasses above his eyes. And with the, I'm allowed to say it, right? Guido bracelet, the Italian gold bracelet chain thing on the right hand there.
Are you a bracelet guy?
Of course not. No. And then
I don't understand.
There's Mom with the sunglasses on, assuming that's Mom. And then the two brothers, those have to be the two brothers, including the one brother who's got the two chains and the other brother wearing the poor Tommy DeVito. I believe that is his Illinois jersey. I believe that's his Illinois.
Is this from
jersey.
Last week?
This is from last week. And Charles Robinson with the all-time header for this tweet. If New Jersey had a Mount Rushmore. Criminal that only has 126 likes, because I would submit that to the Louvre.
That's good stuff. I like her 1980s.
Oh, the hair,
whatever her
feathered bangs.
Yes,
yeah, that's Jersey, man. I mean,
it's true. That's true.
The only thing that's missing from her is the shirt is a giant shirt. If that was a slippery when wet shirt, that would have been the now, PS.
Tommy is staying at the family home. I did read that. Did you read that?
Yeah, and then she's doing all of his laundry and cooking for him, and yeah, this feels like a prank. It also feels like, how the Dolphins got in trouble for their owner being like, "We're gonna tank," and the coach Brian Flores was like, "No, absolutely not." This is the Giants saying, "Oh, I'm going to show you the right way to tank."
Yeah, you go for
this is how you tank.
This is, I mean, to be a little bit more serious for a second, I never understood why the owners obviously save money. I guess is what you're going to tell me. Why they don't expand the roster size. Here we go.
Yeah, it's save money.
starting quarterback out. You telling me that Danny DeVito is one of the best 64 quarterbacks in the world right now?
Well, technically, he's their third string quarterback because remember, Tyrod Taylor got hurt. Like, I like Taylor as a backup, but he's a guy. If Tyrod Taylor ever gets a chance to start, he is guaranteed to get hurt within the next 2 weeks.
He's also going to light it up for those 2 weeks.
While he's in there, he's going to play well.
He's like the sixth man. He like lights it up. He's like a microwave out there. He lights it up and then just blows up, unfortunately.
Well, we might as well start there with our lock of the week. And the lock of the week this week is brought to you by Wings Over Raleigh, Wings Over Chapel Hill, Wings Over Greenville. Ryan Malley has the free parking on Hillsborough Street. If you've ever tried to navigate Hillsborough Street, you know how difficult that can be. So go to wingsover.com, place your order. Go pick up your food, free place, pop in, tell them that the OG sent you. Big shouts to the most recent person who was like, yeah, the OG sent me. And the person working the desk was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I said it to Ryan. He was like, I do, and I thank you. So, yes, support the people who support us. Wings Over, our wings are better than your wings. All right, so let's get to our locks of the week. And as usual, there are going to be some familiar names. And this ties into, obviously, poor Tommy DeVito being a starter. You're going Commanders minus 8.5?
It feels weird, but there is no way DeVito's a winning quarterback. There's no way the Giants are trying to compete. It feels terrible to pick the Commanders. It feels awful.
Yeah.
But
this is about Sam Howell. This is about your diploma.
Samuel Duke Howell is who I'm going to pick here. And the Commanders, minus 8.5. They are at home.
That's a starchy number.
It's a huge number.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Huge.
Giants already beat the Commanders, which would then lead us to believe that Washington is going to win this game. I am of the belief if you don't think a team's going to win, you probably shouldn't take the number when it comes to gambling advice.
Fair enough.
So I don't hate this pick from you. My lock is the Dolphins. Our Dolphins. Off of a week off of a loss. Mike McDaniel, I think, gets this right. Speaking of big numbers, it's 13.5. People are confused about what the Raiders are because they just beat the Giants and the Jets in consecutive weeks under Antonio Pierce. Love that people think they're going to fight, and that's cool that they have against two awful teams. But I think Miami gets the Lamborghini out of the garage, runs this thing up, and takes care of business. I quietly went 3-0 last week.
Joe, can we
take a 16-13 record on the season now, which means I am a half a game ahead of you. And that means we are trending in week 11 towards the espresso being renamed the OG espresso. Speaking of renaming things.
Yeah, we're renaming everything. I would feel better if the Commanders were not the Commanders. I don't know what I want to call them, but the Commanders don't like the name.
I would have loved Monuments was the one that or Presidents. Those were the two that I liked.
And then
Washington
what do you have?
Monuments, Washington Presidents.
If George Washington,
they got boxed
charging
out
on a horse?
They got boxed out. Somebody squatted on those names and took them from them, so they couldn't use them.
What? How do you get boxed out? You bought the team for $4 billion. Can't you just buy anything you want?
This is not you're not talking about a smart person in Dan Snyder, no longer there. So
no, the new ownership group. We're going to change it. We're changing our ways.
All right.
Hey, listen, by the way, Joe, who was leading the NFL in passing?
Your boy, Sammy Howell.
Thank you. The Commanders.
Sammy Football.
We're going to see if DeVito can keep up with Sam Howell.
All right, let's go to your prop of the week because you are 7-2 on the season with your props. You might be able to see it there on the screen. Bryce Young, touchdown pass this week. His over-under is 0.5. Wow. I mean, he was the number one pick in the draft, people. What are we? Has it come to this that we don't even think he's going to throw one touchdown?
It's pretty. That's pretty condemning because, I mean, the number 2 passer in the NFL is, I'll give you a hint, it's related to Bryce Young.
Oh, CJ Stroud.
Number 2 passing yards, NFL.
Yeah, he's having an all-time rookie season right now, the best since Danny Marino.
Now, to give you props, I heard it on this podcast. You wanted to pick.
I did. Yeah, we talked about this all along.
You wanted Stroud.
But getting back to Young a little bit here, the Panthers have won once this season. He has 2 games this year where he hasn't thrown a single touchdown. This is where I'm trying to caution against you betting on this guy, but I think your reasoning is sound because they're playing the Cowboys, and your theory is even if Frank Reich is taking back over to play calling, you trust that the Cowboys will be in control of this game and that Bryce Young
100%.
will have to throw basically on every down.
No, you're going to have a bunch of passing.
Okay.
You're just going to be the ball's going to be put up in the air. You're going to try to stay reasonable. Frank Reich's going to run something. I don't know. He's going to run some boring offense here. But 1 touchdown. Now, one of the 2 games that he did not throw a touchdown, I believe you bet on him. So you did put a curse on one.
That was me.
You put the hex on one of those games, and one of the games was a fluke. Well, we just get 1 touchdown pass, Joe. I don't know. I hate the offense. I hate the team. I think they're going to lose by a lot, but I got to imagine.
The question there, though, is the Cowboys played well last week, which means normally we would fade the Cowboys after a strong performance. That has been what has served us well.
I just can't bet. I can't bet the line on the Cowboys to cover that game, though. That's a starching number.
It is. It definitely is. But speaking of which, let's look at the teams who have done well this year. And the one that has really cursed you is the one that I'm going for this week. That is the Detroit Lions. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it now. They lead the NFL with the best record against the spread this year. They are 7-2 against the number. I believe the 2 that they've had are the ones that you went against them. And they had a tie last week, so you couldn't even get your revenge on them.
Nope.
A tie against the number, I should say. The Lions are at home, so I'm sticking with a home team. Miami's at home. The Lions are at home. They're playing the Bears. The Bears are coming off of a win. Quick math here. When I look at it, the Bears are 1-4 this year on the road. They're 0-2 after wins. Lions are 3-1 ATS at home. And those have all been as a favorite. I don't love 7.5, but as I said, I don't think the Bears are going to win the football game. So if I don't think they're going to win the football game, the points don't necessarily bother me.
What about Fields coming back? How do you feel about him coming back?
Is he allegedly coming back in this game?
He is allegedly coming back.
I think they kind of like Tyson Bagent. I think they kind of like, having someone who's maybe not as flashy, but just a little steady. Not turning the ball over. I mean, it's those are kind of the things that are helping him out. So
absolutely,
that's the way I kind of look at it. That look, the Bears won last week. The chances of the Bears winning again, for real, 2 weeks in a row,
real low.
I also think the Lions are actually pretty good.
No, they're very good.
I mean, and their schedule sets up that they could actually be the number 1 seed in the NFC. We will see how that ends up working out. But now it's time to get to our JETS. I don't have it in here because I only put it in the other brand just to give you a little idea. So we'll just go by me saying JETS. Anthony from Long Island is a Jets fan. Where are you from in Long Island again? Because I'm writing this down because I have too many Long Island people in my life. And every time I say, oh, Anthony's from Long Island, I'm like, I can't remember something with a green.
Something with a green? No,
I can never remember.
I'm a Melville guy.
Melville.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the author?
Just like the author, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like the author.
What is Melville's claim to fame? Because you either have a Baldwin or a Billy Joel or a Mariah Carey.
No.
None of the above.
No.
Okay.
My parents are from Massapequa. Seinfeld's over there.
Massapequa?
The Baldwins are there.
Okay.
Krish's ice cream is over there. Very good. All American hamburger. Very good. Although that serial killer also used to eat hamburgers there too, so that's weird.
Oh, the Son of Sam?
No, the one who they just caught.
Oh, more recent.
Oh yeah, they just caught him. The weird guy was. Well, I mean, they were all killing prostitutes. Unfortunately,
we were in the city that day when he got caught. Actually,
that guy's weird.
On a better note, I had this argument with Dr. Alex Brennan, who's been taking care of my neck for me. Okay.
It does look better, by the way.
He is from Long Island, and we were arguing because he is somehow a Giants Mets fan.
Okay.
And I'm like, so I had to get into the whole thing. Like, he's 55 also. He's also a Rangers fan. So I'm like, I'm so confused right now. And I said to him, because he was mad at me. He thought I was wearing a Bills shirt. I was not wearing a Bills shirt, but he was like, I don't like the Bills. I'm like, well, that would make a whole lot more sense if you didn't. Like, if you were a Jets fan, I would understand why you don't like the Bills. long story short, I said, well, where are you from? And he goes, I'm from New York. I go, no. I go, you're from the island. You are not from New York.
Okay.
You're from Long Island.
I didn't know this was an anti-Long Island podcast.
It's not anti. That's like it's like a badge of honor. So one of his friends just happens to be coming through, and he was talking to Jesse, who works up front, and says to Jesse, "Oh, she asked where's your son? Oh, well, he's back at the house. Da 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 da. Oh, where does your son live? Does your son live in the city?" And what does he say? No, he lives on Long Island. And I said, see, there is a distinction.
Yes. Yeah, I love Long Island.
I know, but why are you making it sound like I'm the one who's making up the rules?
I feel like I'm being attacked here. Listen, Mr. New Jersey.
I am from Jersey.
Anti-Don Bosco prep guy.
I am anti. They were the Catholic school that poached some of our players. Yeah, I didn't like that.
No.
I wanted guys on my team, Lakeland Regional, man. I didn't want people going to other schools and losing our best players. Get out of here. I don't need that in my life. Jets this week. Getting some points, playing Buffalo on the road. Speaking of firing offensive coordinators, the Bills fired their offense coordinator, Ken Dorsey. Means we get the wonder kid, Joey Brady. Joey B. He's calling the plays for the Bills this week. What do you got? Bills are a 7-point home favorite.
Give me this. Lay the 7. Give me the Buffalo Bills. I don't love the Bills, but I don't. The Jets are just a mess. We can't score a touchdown. Get me the Buffalo Bills. I got to stay there at home. The Jets cut Michael Carter this week, a big UNC guy.
Is this because of the heels?
Yeah, of course it is. Tie it back to Mac Brown somehow. No, the Jets stink. The only thing we got going for us is that maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers comes back in about 4 or 5 weeks.
I heard him qualify this on McAfee. Well, I never said to Melissa Stark, who did present as if it was fact that he would be back by mid-December. Why are you ready to get rid of the Jets? I mean, I didn't think they played terrible last week against the Raiders. I mean, they lost.
It's just Zach Wilson kills me, man.
You're down on Zach Wilson. We're back to being down on Zach Wilson.
I'm depressed. He makes me depressed.
Okay.
We got to do it. And I tell you what, somebody who doesn't get any slack, I think Alan Lazard stinks. Get him out of here. The guy's great for a drop, a hold on a run. Like he kills me. I don't know why he gets all my. I hate that guy. Maybe Aaron Rodgers can unlock him. Zach Wilson cannot. He stinks.
Jets in true road games this year got smoked at Dallas, beat Russell Wilson in Denver. And then last week, the game out in Vegas, they end up losing 16-12. It was 12-9 for a hot minute in that game. Like I went to bed thinking they were going to win the football game. Obviously, it didn't work out that way.
Who are the Buffalo Bills, though? Do you think that they're a playoff team, or do you think they stink? What are they?
I don't know. I don't know if they stink, but they should seriously consider asking the Giants for Brian Daboll back to fix Josh Allen. Because the best that we've seen Josh Allen play was with Brian Daboll calling the plays and helping him reduce the turnovers. When he starts turning the ball over, which is usually when he's trying to make too many plays, well, there you go.
Well, he does that Big Ben thing where he tries to extend the play to the point like
or try to hammer something in there because he has such a great arm. So I don't know. All of our NFL picks are brought to you by the Oakwood Pizza Box. Oakwood Pizza Box, Wednesday through Sunday, open for lunch on Fridays. Ken is the one who brought us that Colonel Taylor to your left there, a delicious rye, straight rye, 100 proof. Your boy wasn't quite ready for that yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you, that hit me pretty hard.
Is it? It's open?
Oh yeah, you're welcome to try some, but it hit me hard.
Oh, the straight rye is good.
Oh, it's delicious.
I mean, we're sitting at a nice 100 proof.
I know. I didn't know any of this, and then Ovius pours it for me at 8:30 in the morning, and then I was not feeling great. By
the next segment brought to us by the Colonel.
Well, the Colonel will treat you right, but not as well as Oakwood Pizza Box. head down there on Person Street, right across from the world famous Krispy Kreme. You can order online, oakwoodpizzabox.com, or just go in like I do Friday afternoons, get yourself a Narragansett, just kind of chill out. Maybe you get a square pizza. I always recommend the square pizza. Maybe you get a salad, even though Anthony will not modify the salad for me. I understand that. It's not my business. It's his. Speaking of greenery, that is going to bring us to the Oakwood Pizza Box Pizza question of the week, as my aunt in New Jersey likes to say. And this will then come from Aileen in New Jersey. Anthony, why do you put big basil leaves on your pizza?
Oh, are you an anti-basil guy?
No, I enjoy
You're
it.
pro-basil.
No, I enjoy it immensely.
No, I think it's.
But I don't know if these people down here are ready for all that.
The people.
What do you find? What do you find?
What I find is that there is a split, so we keep it as a leaf, so you could pull it off if you don't want to involve. Some people like to tear it in like really tiny pieces.
Okay.
And like intricately place them around. Those people get a lot of credit from me. Like really, really detailed.
I like a leaf per piece. That's how I usually do it.
Yeah, me too. I'm on a leaf per piece. Maybe one rip in half. Maybe I just like drop it.
So where'd that come from? Where did the
first time I saw that on this style pizza was in Brooklyn? There's a guy in Brooklyn who was doing it.
I mean, it complements the sauce.
That's what the
because your sauce is pretty much just tomatoes and I would assume cheese.
Tomato, garlic, salt, obviously. But the basil comes through.
Wait, you don't put grated cheese in your sauce?
No.
Really?
No. What's that face?
You put wine in your sauce?
No.
Oh, it's a pizza sauce.
Different than a marinara. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, different. I would cook a marinara differently.
Do you put those two things in your, like I'm making a lasagna for Wednesday.
All right, we got lasagna. Sure.
Okay. My sauce, yes, red wine, grated cheese are involved.
Is meat involved in your sauce?
Yes, I went to the butcher's market actually yesterday to get 4 pounds of 2 different types of sausages and then another 2 pounds of ground beef.
You going 80-20?
I usually use 80-20. Yeah, because I don't believe in the fat's what makes it tasty. Okay. I don't love a 93-7. Now it might be different for you and your meatballs and what you do when you actually serve pizza. That we can maybe get into that another day, man. That's next week's Oakwood Pizza Box question.
Oh, meatballs.
But no. So the basil was something that you saw in
I saw
Brooklyn?
it somewhere, and the freshness is what I really like. It's a good contrast to the sweet, rich approach to the cheese and the pizza, and then basil lifts it.
So the biggest challenge there for you is getting that shipped in how many times a week?
That'll come in 3 times a week. It's about 25 pounds a week. It's
anybody look at you funny when the guy comes in with the truck?
yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, where's that from?" That's Hawaii. What?
Is it?
Yeah, Hawaii.
You're a nut, man.
No, it's the best. It really is the best. So I buy basil from all over the place all the time, and then what we found is Hawaii is the best.
You have a connect that brings you basil 3 times a week from Hawaii.
Yes.
You realize how absurd that sounds, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but
you could like cut a corner here or two.
Maybe, but it's not that much fun though. If it was like shitty, like like these crap. I was at
the powdered dry.
I would save so much money if I did that. That'd be huge cost savings.
So in my sauce, I don't use basil. I do use parsley. I like a fresh parsley.
Parsley in it, and you cook the parsley through?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, with lasagna, what I would do, well, obviously you put the parsley in the cheese, the ricotta with the mozzarella. Yeah. Like, so
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, but I also put it in my sauce.
No basil.
Not unless I had your Hawaii Connect. If I had the 5.0, maybe. I mean, but I'm with you. I don't want to put. I don't put like the Italian seasoning out of a jar. Like, come on, man.
No, that's not it. That's not the answer. I'm not a really dried spice guy though. Only in rare.
Right.
There's only like certain applications for that stuff.
I mean, I've cut some corners recently with the garlic.
What are you doing with the garlic?
I mean, first of all, I haven't made a sauce in a minute. I'm not going to lie to you.
Why not? You're not cooking for the missus?
I make chili which I like, which is a very similar
Do you do
ingredients.
beans in the chili?
Yes, of course. But in like you're supposed to put garlic and onion in the chili. I've gone to now in the chili just onion with garlic powder.
Oh.
But for the sauce, I will use obviously fresh garlic. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like the chopped stuff that comes in a jar.
No, don't use that.
It's been in their fridge now.
And don't use the pre-peeled stuff either. Don't do that.
Pre-peeled.
There's pre-peeled garlic.
Oh, I didn't even know it was a thing.
No.
Oh, you get it. You smash it.
Yeah, yes.
Throw it in there.
Yeah,
it's all good. Okay. Well, that was the Oakwood Pizza Box Pizza question of the week. I'm so sad that I'm in front of you now by a half of a game in our season long contest because Colonel Taylor might be in play for you. That stuff was.
The Colonel's great.
That stuff was really.
We should
good.
We got to do. We should make a bet on the passing yards futures next week. We should have that keep lobbing in some long range.
Okay.
You watch any college basketball?
I have. I watched Duke in Arizona. I watched Duke and Michigan State. I went to the state opener. I'm going to go to State's game on Friday this week.
That's a big time game.
Charleston Southern.
Big time game.
I don't think so.
No, well, can I say this? Yeah. I got a lot of slack for the Caleb Love take. I got a lot of people mad at me about Caleb Love.
People are mad at me. Carolina fans don't like me. Or there's a sector of Carolina fans who don't like me. So you were kind of being guilty by association there. And
I didn't realize. I was like, whoa.
Then all of a sudden it was like, this guy didn't really go to Carolina. He's not a real Carolina fan. And I'm just like, oh, Carolina fans who are extremely online. Like, you're not extremely online.
No.
So I get it. Like, it's not really the real. Twitter's not the real world. I don't know if anyone's going to explain that to you. But
I am very surprised by the Caleb Love protectors that are coming out after me now. But last year they were like, I hope this guy breaks his ankle and I never see him again. And now it's like, oh, how could you not forget the famous Caleb Love? He's up there with Vince Carter.
The retconning of who was blamed for 23 and who wasn't. So, no, I enjoyed it. We had a good conversation. And if Joe's winter schedule remains the same, we'll do it again fairly soon. So, appreciate you taking some time this week. And maybe next week it'll be the OGG Gambling Syndicate. I don't know.
We're on a pretty good run here. We are on a pretty good run.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're running pretty hot, which is a good thing. And I just want people to find us. I want people to know what we're doing. So maybe by putting gambling in the title, this is what I'm thinking. This is why I started going down this.
Listen, I'm watching a lot of college hoops. My dad's already got his futures bets in.
Does he have a piece of Arizona?
Actually, he does.
Yeah.
Big Arizona guy. He actually called that one, and then he bet Duke on the Michigan State.
Michigan State. Yeah.
He, of course, is famous for calling the UConn championship in the second week of November.
Last year.
Uh-huh. Pegged it.
I had UConn early last year. Maybe not the second week of November, but
he was on early.
I had a nice ticket on them last year. We should do that next week. Well, we're going to be busy next week, but we'll figure it out.
No, we got it because
we can't record on Thursday. Thursday's Thanksgiving next week.
Oh, maybe it'll be a remote. We'll wire it in live from the turkey.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But let's do that. We'll pick some futures bets next week for college basketball. How's that sound?
I love that.
Perfect. Let's do it. And we don't have any futures this week. We have college football picks. We'll do those with Josh Goodson right after this because all of our college football picks are brought to you by RTP Mortgage, rtpmortgage.com. And yeah, I could do the ad without Josh because you know what? I know what's going on when it comes to your mortgage or when it comes to potentially having a little cash out refi action, right? The market's not great right now. But what I know is Josh is the expert. So go to Josh. It's rtpmortgage.com or this is his actual phone number, 252-361-1415. It's 252-361-1415. Maybe you're early in the home buying process. You need to know what you can afford. Go to Josh. Like I said, holidays are coming up. Maybe you need a little money. Maybe you need a little bit of that cash out refi action. Go to Josh at rtpmortgage.com or give him a call, 252-361-1415.
We're moving on.
I mean, the lighting's bad at your place, but I think that's a smile on your face. Josh Goodson, RTP Mortgage. Josh Goodson, Carolina grad. Josh Goodson, State fan. Went to Winston-Salem, marked it off his bucket list, saw NC State win in Winston-Salem. Congrats, sir. Glad you got to enjoy that.
And while I enjoyed it, I don't know if I got the full. It was too easy. I was sitting there, Joe. I was sitting there in the stands, and it got to 14-0. And I looked back at. I was sitting with a couple guys, and I'm like, I think this thing's over.
Yeah, once they get to 2 scores, you can feel pretty good about it.
Different. Like I don't know, it just felt different. Like I told you they were gonna care. They looked like they found an extra little gear on defense and stuff to care about. Like Dave teams are like notorious for like caring about the dumbest things and pouring it out. And I'm not saying they poured it out last week, but it was very easy, and I almost felt shafted. I was like, no, I'm supposed to finally win all on like.
I want an Mecca Emezi fumble recovery. I want the Wake defense, the Wake quarterback can't convert on 4th and 4.
Yeah, that's how it should have been. But you know what? I will take it.
You're getting picky. You're getting picky. The Wolves 7-3. They go to Virginia Tech, where quite frankly they don't play Virginia Tech that often. They beat them last year to improve to 2-5 against the Hokies since they joined the ACC. They have lost their last 3 trips to Virginia Tech for whatever that's worth in 2020, 2015, and 2009. They did win there the first time they played them in Blacksburg, a Mario Williams kind of game. They beat them up there in 2004. I tell you this all as a way of saying Virginia Tech's a favorite in this game. Are we being serious right now?
Yeah. And I was at the 2004 game.
Oh, nice.
That was you're right. The NC State that stupid defensive line that year, I think sacked Virginia Tech like 10 times or something like that in that game. Have you watched a lot of Virginia Tech?
No. Yeah. Here, I'm going to tell you what I know about Virginia Tech. Ready? They have 4 wins in the league.
Yeah.
There are 4 teams in the league who have 1 win. They have 3 wins over those teams. They beat Pitt 1-5, Wake 1-6, and Syracuse 1-5. Those teams are bad. They beat them. Congrats. You got to take care of that. They beat Boston College, the team that State can never beat. So those are their 4 wins. Their 2 losses. Weird, Josh. This is really weird. A Coastal team that in normal years in division play, they would be in the driver's seat to make the ACC championship game. As it is, their 2 losses are against, stop me if this is a wild concept to you, Florida State, the best team in the league, and Louisville, the team with the second best record in the league. Yeah. Weird. Isn't that weird?
Shocking. I do know that they have. I think they went to their backup quarterback. He runs
transfer from Baylor. Yeah, he's a runner. He could play. He's athletic. He's a good player.
Yeah, I don't know why they're favored, to be honest with you. I guess I know why. Like State, from a metric standpoint and power rating, their defense is climbing up. They're getting better and better every week, but the offense is still probably a top 75 offense in the nation. So to imply that State would just be automatically a road favorite against a team like that is not surprising, but feels like a Peyton Wilson game, Joe.
It does. My only concern here is we have not seen any trumped up slights or anything from the Dave Doran camp about what the motivation is. That's my only concern.
It's 10 wins.
Okay, so 10 is what you're going for here.
It's the 10 win, and he said it after the Duke game. He came. He said it in one post game. We want to be the best 5-0 team in the ACC after the bye, and it's like it.
If he cares, then that's what matters, not what we
last
think.
Week they were going to care because of I thought the MJ thing was going to be a good thing just to make them stay focused. I don't know if it made them care more or play harder, but it kept them from getting complacent after the big home wins and such. So I do think that they care about the 10-win thing. That's still on the table, finishing out the year. You're the bowl guy. I'm of the opinion there might be a sneaky backdoor to the Orange Bowl, but Louisville needs to lose a couple times type feel. because of the highest ranked ACC team that's not going to the playoff.
Yeah.
I think he's good about Dave is good about caring about stuff and planting that into the players' brains and saying, hey guys, like no school, they've only won 10 games at this school once in our career. They should have done it 2 years ago, but they took it away from us or whatever and such.
Oh man, what if they end up in the Holiday Bowl? I've seen that projected maybe by ESPN.
And not win and like actually play but not win.
Oh God. Don't get me started.
Dave might
so yeah, I'll spoil it for everyone. You're taking State. I'm taking VT because I really believe in Brent Pry and the Hokies. I cannot believe they're a favorite in this game. A reason why this might go this way? Because I think NC State should win this game. And I'm sitting here going, why is Virginia Tech favored? And it's a November game, and NC State's on the road, and this is not a game NC State traditionally wins. So maybe
they've been running hot, but their margins are still so thin, and both teams are. But like State gives up. I feel like they haven't given up a big play in like a month.
They have not, and I did a whole show on that. Yes,
they haven't given up a back-breaking big play touchdown in a month, and like
since the Duke game. Yep,
they're still not built to. I don't think to be able to go chase if they need to.
And they have to stay on schedule. They've been on schedule in the last 3 games. Like, so stay on it.
One side can say that, well, yeah, if you're a good team, you continue to do that. But weird stuff happens in college sports. So I don't know. I'm taking the Pack, but we'll see. Pack money line.
Perfect. We got the Heels going down to Clemson. Tigers are a 6.5-point favorite. The 2 of the last 3 times these teams have met, it's been in the ACC championship game. Carolina still mathematically can get there, although it's super duper remote. I do not like Carolina in this game. This feels like a Phil Maffa runs for 240 yards and Clemson wins. And Will Shipley transfers and decides to go to NC State. That's what this feels like to me.
That'd be great. I'm laying it also with Clemson. I love the Phil Maffa angle to that. I also love Drake May generally has issues whenever they're playing against really good defenses. And Clemson still has a really good defense, and they're going to be sending the house against them. I like the spot for Clemson. Like, after the Notre Dame game that they finally won, they're like, oh, we can actually beat Clemson again and still beat teams and still have more talent than basically everybody we play for the most part. And it's in Death Valley, and I think it's their last home game of the year, Clemson's last home game of the year. So I like that angle. Give me the Tigers.
All right, before we get to our best bets of the week, let's look at the season standings because you are cooking, my friend. You were 3-0 last week. You were 2-1 the week before. That means you have been on fire. You are 17-1 on the year. I am 14-19-2. Yikes. Probably because I haven't gotten a state game. Well, I got Clemson right, but it's been a minute since I've gotten the Wolves right. The Heels have been elusive too. I had Duke last week, so maybe my Heels radar is honing in. My best bet of the week is going to be Louisville. I think Miami poured it out in their Super Bowl against Florida State last week. They've played their Super Bowl. Check. This game is not at night. Check. A lot of Louisville players are from South Florida, so they'll be motivated. Check. I did a bunch of homework to figure out what would happen if Louisville lost and how Virginia Tech or Carolina can get into the ACC championship game. And anytime that happens, that work all goes for naught. So check. Give me all of the checks. This feels like a drive to Virginia kind of game to me. Give me Louisville as a 1-point road dog against Miami.
I would want no part in that game. I just don't think Louisville's that good.
I don't disagree with you.
What are they 9-1? Which is so stupid to say.
How have we completely flipped? Because all of the state bets this year, you've been trying to tell me it's not about state. It's about the other teams aren't that great either.
I just look at Louisville and they are. I think it's from the. I look at them and they're 9-1, and I'm like, yo, they don't seem on the same planet as like Oregon, who's 9-1.
Sure, but I think
Alabama, who's 9-1. Like,
I think you're judging Louisville for the game that they played against State,
and they weren't very good in that game. They were just less bad than State was.
But that's fair that you're going off of what you've seen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not blaming you for that. But I would just say to you that Louisville has dropped the hammer when they've needed to this year.
Except last week against Virginia when they should have actually probably lost that game too.
But I think they were looking ahead. I think they were playing with their food. And as State found out, I actually don't think Virginia's that bad. It's making me eat some words from early in the year. But, you know, when they played Notre Dame, they took care of them, beat them at their own game. Then again, they screwed around, lost to Pitt, come back, beat Duke, really played well against Duke. They beat the shit out of Virginia Tech, too, by the way.
You got to give them kudos. Everyone talks about their schedule. Everyone talks about their schedule before the year, and they actually took advantage of the schedule.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going Louisville, and you're going, which way are you going here?
Sam Hartman Bowl.
Sam Hartman Bowl. Okay, so after seeing how dreadful Wake is in person, you are taking Wake. That is ballsy, my friend. That is ballsy.
I still think Dave Clawson is a good coach.
Of course he is. They're having a bad year. It happens.
They're having a bad year. It happens. I thought his stuff after the game was pretty. I mean, a lot of teams don't get up there and apologize, and he actually got deep into like it's not only on me for game day and preparation. It's like personnel, which kind of implies like, yo, this NIL thing for Wake ain't very. We're struggling right now, but I think the players are going to care to play against Sam Hartman, the guy that left to go to greener pastures, and just the numbers too big. I might be totally off on this. I'm going to go ahead and say we could be coming back next week and Notre Dame wins 45-0 or 45-10.
You're getting 25 points, and it also kind of part of this is like, why would Notre Dame care to really drop the hammer on Wake Forest, right? Yeah. Like that's the other part of this.
And there could be. I don't know. You tell me this. Do you think Sam Hartman cares about beating Wake by a lot? I think their break was more like, I had a great time. We did good to well together. Like I don't know if he cares to like go up there and run it up and throw.
You don't think this is a Jules from Pulp Fiction furious vengeance game is what you're saying?
It doesn't feel like that to me. He got paid a lot of money to go there. And so 25 again, I could be wrong. I think there's enough. I think Wake's going to care. They still have a good coach. They're going to gimmick some stuff up. They haven't played a Super Bowl, all those things. Notre Dame probably is going to be overlooking Wake. And I think Wake's defense is not awful. So maybe could keep the game in there close. 25 points.
All right, my friend. You're running hot. Hopefully it'll stay that way. If you have time on Tuesday next week, we'll be doing this again, making our picks and getting us through the end of the college football season. And again, if you have any mortgage needs, maybe you got a cash out refi, maybe you are just want to start the home buying process. You're going to your family's house this weekend and go, you know what? I want to host Thanksgiving next year. I want to have a better space. First thing to do is to give Josh Goodson a call. First thing to do is go to rtpmortgage.com. All right, Josh, enjoy. You're not going to Blacksburg, are you?
The only road game I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, from the company you're home then, and maybe we can get a game time announced for this Carolina game next week, and we'll all be happy.
Like we can watch the Virginia Tech game together this weekend. I'm still.
Ooh.
I'm allowed to watch. I just was told I was not allowed to leave for an entire 12-hour extravaganza.
Okay.
So I didn't start the negotiations. I did not start the negotiations soon enough on that front. And we're getting close to the holidays, so it's like, I'm not even gonna fight this one.
Team player. All right, my friend. Good luck. Best of luck this week, and we'll do it again next week. And again, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the button. 5 stars only. Apple, Spotify, Google, all those good things. We'll see you next week right back here on Picks and Pizza.